Right, so Rainbow Galaxy Squadron Season 4 is about to release, I believe, tomorrow, so there's a lot of patches and something, and from what I see, well, maybe, I don't actually know, but I've just pressed this for a little bit, and now, so yeah. Anyways, let's check out what is to come tomorrow. And immediately, let's look at this. So it's gonna come out on the, no, tomorrow at 8 a.m. on the 18th at 8 a.m. Depends on the time of somebody else and so like that. Anyways, your best notes will apply with that version. Buffs, Super Saiyan Goku. Skill Kaioken.
Krillin, I'll call you back.
So Kaioken is now 2 seconds long instead of 1 second when you use it raw without any other moves, so that I guess you could like escape better as him. Because he couldn't use that, I guess, yeah. Android 18, Destructo Disc. Effect of dealing that more damage the less HP an enemy has removed. Why? And then does it just do? So it just does more damage overall in general, right? Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yep, of course. So it starts off, it's just the average of the damages, I guess. It's a good change for maybe. Just, but I don't know about that, I don't know. Anyways, her ultimate, Heartbreaker, damage increased. So she just does more damage, that's good. That's about a flat out like 900 damage increase on every single one of them. Yeah, and then if they have assault target, it's an 800. It's a 700, 600, 700. There's about a 700 increase across the board. Anyways, so 18 buffed, very good. Right, right. Looking at Oob, I already see that is some degenerate shit, but okay. Son Gohan Kid, Super Attack, Exploding Rage. His first ultimate part. Damage of rush attacks during, so more damage of the rush attacks because you gain a buff for it when you're in his first phase of his ultimate has been increased. Pretty nice. I think it's fine. Super Attack, Shattering Beam. Right, the second part of the ultimate. Until the explosion reaches maximum range, decreased. So the explosion, the AoE of the explosion comes out faster, and then the damage of the energy wave itself hitting has increased, and the explosion damage is the same. So in a general sense, he just gets more damage on his ultimate. Very nice. Oob, his ultimate comes out faster. That is stupid. That is some stupid shit. If anything, that should have been nerfed, but alright. Dabra, Evil Flame, burning damage increased to 120. That's good. Changing angle of attack increased. Do you move faster? That looks like the rotation degrees. Oh, so the speed of changing the attack is faster, right? Maybe, I don't know. I hope that's what it is. Anyways, Baby Skill 3, aka his possession of allies. Cover fire. Effect that applies move speed down to enemies hit by cover fire added. So he makes it easier to escape and or to chase down an enemy when you're inside somebody whilst they're hit by your basic attack inside of someone. That is a good buff for him. That is pretty nice. Super Attack Revenge Blast. His ultimate damage has just been increased all around. Waste amount when hitting the enemy decrease. I don't know what that means, but in a general sense it seems like it's just doing more damage. So that is a buff. I think maybe the more enemies you hit it did more damage, but I'm not sure. So, Zamasu's ultimate, Zero Mortal Plan. Effect increases damage the higher the regeneration gauge is upon activation added. Oh, his ultimate is just getting buffed. He's gonna be a better boss secure and better in survival, I guess, against enemies, because he still does get his invincibility frames and whatnot, so that should be really good actually. Anyways, Cell. Super Attack, Energy Field. Time from skill activation until barrier deployed decreased. Faster barrier, very nice. Ooh! So in a general sense, just faster ultimate on everything. Really is not what Cell needs, but it's good to have nonetheless. Even though I think the things that should have been buffed on Cell is his regeneration actually being like Topo's things still. But, you know, that's alright. We ball, I guess. That's just what they do. And if they do that shit, if we gotta deal with it. Because they really don't want to buff Cell. He's still gonna be the worst tank in the game, but at least he's a little bit. Actually,
Krillin,
oh no, never mind. Right, yeah,
I'll call you back.
we'll see. Maybe Vegeta will still be the worst. Will be worse than him, but other than that, right now Celestium is kind of like the worst still. But his main use, being his ultimate, is still pretty good. Enter 17 Ultimate Counter Barrier. Duration of extra HP increased. Good. Scaling of damage and extra HP when total HP is low increased from 150 to 200% at max. It's also good. Fact that applies movement speed up to self when nearby allied heroes added. Oh, so he's like, so he is becoming, his ultimate is much more of a,
Krillin,
well actually the ultimate does more damage and gives himself more health, or to everybody more health, or the second part, and the amount of health gained, extra health has been increased. Plus he can now get out faster, so hypothetically he can come in, use his ultimate, help out the teammates and whatnot, try to stay around and get away, or just be around and whatnot. Pretty much he gets the speed up for the entire duration of his extra HP, so he just is more annoying. Okay, Super Saiyan Vegeta seems like he's not gonna be worse than Cell. Anyways, instantly, Skill 1 Energy Blast Volley. Add effect that applies movement speed down to enemy added. 5%, 75 for 75.75 seconds. Being, I guess every single blast that will hit will do that. So all around, probably like, well, they're gonna disappear quite fast. But I guess it's like on the last level, like a 40% decrease for like a second, which is really good if you have a teammate on you. How until skill can end decreased. I don't understand that wording. I'm guessing time from when you throw the skill to when you can move is faster?
I'll call you back.
Maybe. Huh? Okay, so Big Bang Attack is getting boofed. It is just completely a nuke on the first. Well, that's not too much damage, but it still is quite a bit. It's just instant 2,000 damage across the board, and then the overall damage of the thing of the explosion spreading is lowered. Spreading is lowered, but the impact deals that much more damage. That's like a 6 to a nope,
Krillin,
like a 6-time damage increase.
I'll call you back.
Anyway, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Kamehameha. Full up attack damage increased, so it's kind of stronger. Burst damage increased, so his Kamehameha is kind of getting not back to what it was before he got nerfed in the 1. In the second patch, or the patch before the last one, but it is stronger than it is now, so it's like a good middle ground, I guess. Pretty good for him. Instant transmission Kamehameha is also just doing more damage on the first hit, and I'm guessing that the full up attack damage is also
Krillin,
still higher there, which is just really good. Plus, his instant transmission when you transmission to enemies is now recovers faster, so in a general sense he should be really good on like taking out enemies and whatnot. Still doesn't have the best buzz secure, but he still has his ultimate, still has that little slam, and his instant transmission is still one of the best things in the game. He is still a little rat in comparison, but what can you do? God of Destruction to super attack, ultimate. Pretty much. His ultimate, Massive Sphere of Destruction. Downward skill activation until Sphere of Destruction at least decreased. Why? Okay. Why did... Ooh, we get a buff on this too. Topo kind of makes sense because it is kind of slow. Sphere of Destruction full speed decreased. No, it's... Okay. Sure. I don't know, like... Looks fine. Looks like an overall buff, maybe a nerf. I think it should still explode faster, so it is a buff. But in general sense, you still have to build up his God of Destruction stacks there, so... Yeah. Holy, okay, so Trunks. Burst Sword, skill 1, which does more damage when an enemy has less health. The overall damage has been decreased by just like 80 damage in general. 90 to 100 damage range, like 80, 90, 100 damage range. But if based on enemy total HP increased, so he does way more damage if an enemy has lower health, which is pretty much the reason why that move was strong to begin with. So in a general sense, that's really strong. Nice. So Vanish Strike, cooldown decreased from 10 to 7 seconds. That is a big decrease. That's really strong. But the damage is also decreased, which is sad. But wow, that's really a lot of damage decrease. Actually, I think this is a net. I mean, to be fair, that move is still good. It still is just an instant slam onto an enemy, and then you can still combo into Burst Sword whenever you need. Burst Sword, in a general sense, should do more damage now, so this move doing less damage in general is not bad, but you would still prefer to have it do at least 1,000 damage on level. Like, I would have thought it would be like 820, 920, 1,020. That would have been fine, but I guess 960 at top level is a bit too harsh when he already is kind of okay. He's strong, he just isn't strong as comparison to other characters, but this is still, I guess, an overall buff to him. Anyways, Majin Buu, ultimate attack, Candy Ray. Damage when consuming an enemy turned into candy changed, 2,000. Does he just do 2,000? Did he not do damage before? Like, I don't know. I think he just does 2,000 damage now in general, which is good. It's pretty much another ultimate. Just his Candy Ray now can actually do ultimate damage to an enemy alongside healing, so the ultimate is just better. The HP healed when consuming an enemy turned into candy increased from 100 to 2,000. Pretty much the entire health damage that you deal. Time of activation, skill activation until beam is released decreased. A faster the skill can end decrease. I don't understand until the skill can end. Like until the animation of me using the skill ends, or until the skill itself ends. I think this means the animation of you using the skill ends. So you firing the ray off, it comes out faster, it activates faster, and you come out of the animation faster. Plus, if you hit an enemy, you can engulf them, consume them to deal damage to them, and heal yourself a ton, which is really good. Plus, it still does the healing area down and whatnot, and the range can also get better. Final form cooler, ultimate atomic supernova, damage increased for full ops, and the explosion, and the distance. So just an overall buffed ultimate, pretty much one of the best ultimates already on the tank role, just becoming even stronger. Okay, that's a lot of buffs. That's a lot of buffs. That's a lot of shite for Khalifa. We're not even. Oh my god, this is a big patch. I would have liked it if it was damage and whatnot, but you know. Super Saiyan 2 Khalifa, Storm Kick. Provoked duration increased, so she forces enemies to attack her for longer. About a 2 times increase in general, because you're probably maxing out this move first anyways. Duration of provoked when hitting an enemy at point blank, range adjusted. Even more time? Alright. Skill 3, boof! Effect applies move speed down to enemy added 70% for 2 seconds. So you move faster and they move slower. Very nice. Total energy reaches max range increased. So the overall explosion of energy she does around her, it doesn't do damage. It does do damage. Not a lot, but a little bit. It pushes them out, but now it takes a little bit longer to push them out. But they get speed down when you get speed up at the end of it, which means you can either chase them easier or escape easier, which you will most likely be using energy release for escaping anyways, or for like trying to keep the enemy from getting to his tower. Her ultimate, her energy waves increased. She has more waves. And we're just gonna look at level 3 for the super, because we don't really care. Angle of energy waves released adjusted. I'm sure this is like big buff, but let's just see. How am I supposed to understand? Oh, right, because there's like a lot more waves coming out, so it would just spray out more. So it still is from 0 to 45 in a general sense, but it just spreads out more and whatnot and hits more areas, so there is a higher chance of you hitting the enemy. Damage increased 400. Damage distance fall off decreased.
Krillin, I'll call you back.
So she does more damage, but you need to be closer range to them.
Hmm.
Because if you're too far away, it will do way less damage. But it still is really strong. She still puts on the provoke. She hits a lot more times. Probably lasts longer, so then the enemies are provoked for longer. You can then just use Storm Kick to more provoke, energy release. Which pretty much is... Her ultimate is like Bardock's counter, in a general sense, I guess, so it's not bad. Pretty good. Kale. Skill 3 Energy Sphere. Duration of charge force explosion on hit increased from 1 to
Krillin,
3 seconds.
I'll call you back. Hmm.
This is like... Sorry. So, does this mean that when you combo it with the blasts that make the explosion bigger, make so the explosion lasts longer? I don't understand this one. I mean, okay, in general sense, the damage has increased, and it has longer explosion, so it's a buff for Kale on her pretty much best move. Daimagoku, his ultimate, Swift Spark, version of damage taken, so the damage and while he's immune has been increased into additional damage from 50% to 75%. Big. Gamma 1 and 2. Ultimate special pose, scaling of total HP shield on activation increased just to 40%. That is okay. During the effect increased. What is that? That is insane. They already are very strong and very lively. This is just stupid. But alright, they maybe need that. That's fine.
Krillin,
Holy shit, alright.
back.
Passive, time until revenge gauge depletion starts, decreased.
Hmm.
So you decrease your gauge faster. Interval revenge gauge depletion increased. Decreased. Okay, so it starts depleting faster, it starts going down faster, but it goes down the initial of it starting to go down is faster, but the overall rate at which it goes down is slower. Pretty much. And then Riot Javelin. His ultimate just does like 5 times the damage.
I'll call you back.
Hit. Right. Ultimate. Assassin's Domain. Effect that applies energy defense down to enemy. Any defense down distance fall off. Why? Hit does not need buffs. He should just whatever. He's good. Hit is buffed. Again. I mean, hit is probably depends on what happens to Ultimate Gohan. Hit could be the best technical in the game until Kid Buu comes up, but I don't think Kid Buu will be that strong. Unfortunately, because of how Hit and Adult Gohan just work Ultimate Go. Anyways, so a buffer hit. We are stupid, but alright. Frieza, Ultimate Supernova. Effect that applies all the attack down to enemies in the burn area removed. That is not good. Effect that applies continuous damage to enemies in the burn area added. 50 per. So instead of attack down, it does more damage. Effect that applies burn to enemies in the burn area added. 3 seconds after leaving. So they take 600 damage if they leave the area. They take 50. They take 200 every second if they stay inside of the area of the effect of the ultimate.
Krillin,
And the ultimate itself still does a lot of damage. Duration of burn area decreased. 10 seconds. So instead of 15 seconds, 10 seconds. So in general, if they stay inside of it for, let's say, 4 seconds, they'll take, well, 800 damage. And then if they leave, they'll take another 600 damage. So all in all, they'll take whatever the damage from the ultimate is, plus 800 plus 600. They'll take 1400 damage plus damage of the ultimate itself. Really strong. Anyways. Defensive step buffed. Just in general buffed. It has the damage reduction duration has been increased by a whole second from 3 to 4, and the duration of it beginning to fall off has been increased by half a second to make it half of 4 seconds. So it's now instead of 1.5 seconds, it's 2 seconds. Just stronger. Epic Hunter, the one that is for taking down bosses, the overall damage increased against bosses from 25% to 40%. The only character to use this card on is Frieza. So, go figure. I guess people, they want you to use Epic Hunter more, but when the other ones are so good, there's no point. Gek High cooldown reduction increased 70%. So, if you're using if you're being a hit player or Gotenks player, because apparently Gotenks didn't get any fucking buffs online, right? Yeah, Gotenks. I do not remember reading anything Gotenks status. Motion blur. Gek High, your skills come back even faster. Instead of 50%, 70% more reduction. So you just get whatever skill even faster. Hit is gonna have a great time on the back door. Okay, nerfs for all heroes. Total HP healed upon transformation for damage and technical roll. Heroes decreased from 50 to 40%, and total HP healed upon transformation for tank rolls. Heroes decreased from 50 to 30%. So they want you to just transform outside of battle in general, probably, instead of in battle, so that you don't keep it for too long. But if you're decent enough at the game, then that doesn't really matter. Oh, so those are the only nerfs. And then there are adjustment, quote unquote, which can be nerfs or buffs. Krillin, Energy Mine. So the hit you were shot by handgun or an ultimate effect has been removed from the mine, but okay, but you have movement speed down for 75%, movement speed down for a whole second. Now the placement remind reacts to the enemy increased. It activates slower on secondary explosion. There's 2 explosions now? No, I think it always activated and then exploded, right? Yeah. So the activation and the explosion are slower now, but the full explosion damage is now about a 200 to 400 damage increase in general. Strong, pretty good, nothing too crazy. Change the distance fall off from self-reference point to a central line in the area. Don't know what that means for Solar Flare, but the fact that applies shrink of field on view to enemies on hit added. Aren't you already blind? Or after blind? So you go blind so blind duration decreased from 2.5 seconds to 2 seconds. So here's how it works. You get blinded, you can't see shit, and then after you're out of blind, you still cannot see anything in the area around you for another second. So you can still get badooshed, skadooshed, and habooskinned from everybody else. But go figure. All attack down duration decreased. I didn't even know Solar Flare does attack down, because you can't see anything in it anyways, so I don't know what the point is. But from 5 seconds to 3 seconds, pretty much, you just are useless when you're blind, still. And you can't see anything anyway. Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Ultimate. Blaster Meteor. Time from skill activation until energy blast release increased. Oh, it activates slower. Move speed down during attack. 50, 60, 80. That's a buff, I think. Damage of cloaked energy from self increased.
I'll call you back.
So a little bit more damage. Therefore, when exploding considerably, hit decreased. So, in a general sense, pretty much more damage, the longer distance of the ultimate and whatnot. Plus, on himself, the damage is bigger. He can move around a little bit faster at the beginning of the animation or throughout the entire ultimate. I don't understand, but it kind of starts off a little bit slower. 0.33 seconds, which is a third of a second, doesn't really reactable, so go figure. But it's just a net buff for Broly, so we're happy because we're Broly fans over here. Split finger shot, nerfed. The cooldown is faster, but the movement speed down is decreased from 70% to 30%, which is, I guess, fine. What? Okay, Psycho Thread. The moment somebody steps into Psycho Thread, his skill 3, Thread applies no vanishing step to enemy edit. So, bombs, Psycho Thread, you cannot vanish. You just have to eat shit. You have to eat the bombs, you have to eat his blaster blaster explosion, whatever it's called. Green boogers, green balls with his
Krillin.
big green balls. Then moving speed down, amount decrease. But the payoff of it, you have a no vanish for half a second, is that you can move a little bit faster. So I guess in a general sense it's a buff, but in the longer term it's kind of a nerf. Actually no, I guess you have to stay inside of the debuffed range for longer. So in a general sense it is a buff, just in general. Alright, go tanks. Okay, skill 3 is nerfed, Super Ghost, in a general sense.
I'll call you back.
They will not endlessly follow the enemy anymore, they will stop following after 3 seconds. So you could actually escape them now. After 3 seconds, which is still a long time, but it's better than just being chased by it. That's just like how it should have been in my opinion, but that is a nerf to him. Because Super Ghost was the only good move that he had left, but his ultimate is getting buffed from what it looks like, right? Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack. The arm skill activation until Ghost Charge reduced, so ghosts come out faster, and the last hit damage has been increased
I'll call you back.
by 150 damage at level 3 of the open. So in general, a nothing buff. A buff to Gotenks, but really is just like a, you want something? Here's a breadcrumb you can have. Anyways, Ultimate Gohan, please just kill this character. What? Perfect, alright. Right, Jack Blast. Effect that applies energy defense down to enemy hit by strike added 200. Yeah. Jack Blast has energy defense down now for 200. Hit by strike. For a second and a half, they have their energy defense down by 200 something, and strike defense down if they're hit by the wave.
Krillin.
So what they want you to do is pretty much use Jack Blast. It's pretty much just to combo the entire thing, right? But cool. But it's a buff, I think. Anyways. Effect that grants an additional use from Power Unleashed removed. That's good. So now you don't get just stunned 4 times in a row by this one move alone. That applies energy down to enemy hit by strike added. I don't understand. Speed down by strike removed.
I'll call you back.
Isn't it the same already? I don't understand what this one means. If you're in Power Unleashed, does it do more damage? No. Does it have more? Oh my god, that is... So he's getting nerfed. I don't quite understand the wording here, but pretty much, in a general sense, what they did is, he doesn't gain another use from Potential Unleashed, Power Unleashed, but I guess he gains more debuffs. So instead of movement speed down, he gains energy defense down for a second and a half for 400, and enemy hit by the wave will now take strike defense down for 300 for a second and a half. But instead of the strike portion of Jack Blast in Potential Unleashed, in Power Unleashed, will no longer do movement speed down, and the wave portion of Jack Blast in Power Unleashed, I'm guessing, will no longer stun. Really good. Rolling Hammer. Changed warps to your target location to warps to the target location. I think it's the same. You just teleport to the enemy. Like, I don't know. Oh, or do No, I don't understand this. Anyways, max range decreased. Good. Distance of forcibly moved on hit decreased. Good. Max range has been decreased in about 2 to 4 meters in general. Distance of forcibly moved on hit decreased from 9 to 7 meters. Good. Distance enemy blown away on hit with the additional use from power unleashed decreased from 12 to 9.5 meters. Really good. Alright, power unleashed. Total max range reached increased. From 2.2 seconds to 0.4. Good. Change monthly is applied after reaching max range. Okay. Attack duration increased from 0.25 to 0.45 seconds. Time until skill can end increased. 0.42 to 0.58. So you're stuck in the animation for a little longer, I guess. That's what it means. Overall, really good, really happy. I think this means that he will get stunned less, but he can technically deal more damage now, which we'll see how that works, but generally it looks like a nerf to him, which I'm really happy about. Piccolo, Hellzone Grenade, Hellzone Trap, skill 2, damage increased. About 2x damage increase on just all around. Time until orbs start to drop when enemy is in range increased. You can react to them dropping on you. Slightly, if your reaction is whatnot. Anyways, so that's good. Anyways, enemy NPCs, general enemy NPCs, spawn conditions and location adjustments, and base HP increased. Pretty good. Time between attacks increased. So the attack slower. And indicator display time increased. You gain less XP from it, Kais, and they attack slower. That's fine. So it's less about the fight for the Kai and more about the fight for the cell. No. Less about the fight for the Kai, more about the fight for the general control of the NPCs and what you kill. But now all NPCs have more health. And they spawn in a little bit different places. So that's cool. Cell Junior, time until attack increased. So they also attack slower. Pyro Robot, you get more XP from Pyro Robot. The Pyro Robot spawns usually at the top, at like the spawn area of characters, so that's good. All bosses spawn timing adjusted from 2 minutes to 3 minutes, from 4 minutes to almost 5. No, more than 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 15 seconds, from 6 minutes to... They just want matches to be a little longer. Because it's just longer. They take the intervals between bosses are longer, so now they want you to actually fight the enemies and gain XP in ways other than just hoping on the triple boss KO. That's good. Nappa. Nappa's summon movement and speed decreased. They move slower. Damage. Cybermen do less damage, but Nappa has more health, so his minions are worse, but he himself is stronger, so the enemy boss will not just get wiped out in 0.5 of a second instantly. Jackie Chun, damage on counter attacking after an enter image is decreased, so he does less damage. Time between after image is increased, and you have more time to find out which one is the real one, so that's just a little nice thing. Shaco, rapid fire 5 beam attack. Time until firing increased, 0.75 seconds. Indicator display time increased. They all just attack slower, is what it seems. Which is good, I guess, but they don't do that much damage anyway, so I don't know. Briand de Chateau and Ribian. Rapid fire heart attack. Shot speed decreased from 12.5 meters a second to 9 meters a second. Indicator display time increased. 1 minute and 8 seconds from 0.83 milliseconds. Huge heart attack. Damage decreased from 1,500 to 1,200, and you have more time to react to it. And her base HP was increased by about 25%. Actually, a little bit more, about 33%. So she's just harder to kill. Pretty nice. Doesn't seem like there's any changes for bosses, like swapping them out, I think. Still Nappa, Jackie Chun, Shaco, and Brian, which is fine. Action rules: damage of Gekishin burst, cancelling the skill adjusted. Hey. Oh, okay, I think it just probably does less damage, probably. Hopefully. Effect duration on Team KO decreased. That's also good. But to be fair, if a team gets KO'd, they should get very punished, but sometimes 30 seconds is just too long. Oh, standard battle has been renamed to ranked battle. So, there's ranked and then there's casual. Fair enough. Condition to unlock ranked battle has been set to reaching Star Collection 20. Now you actually have to level up to go to ranked. Doesn't really matter, because most of the people that you play with anyways are S rank and they in solo queue, and they just suck at the game somehow. But maybe you suck too. I don't know, I might just be the problem. You haven't seen me play before, so I might be the problem, I'm just saying, but I don't think so. Bug fixes. All heroes. Fix an issue where specific hero skills could target enemies in inaccessible areas affected.
I'll call you back.
Android 18's ultimate hits Android 18's ultimate hits stealth, normal attack, Kale's ultimate normal attacks, Super Vegeto's flash dash, Cell's grab, Bardock's rebellion smash, Bardock's dash, and Gotenks's stun have all been changed to, I guess, not be able to hit people who are inside of the gods area, I guess.
I'll call you back.
Helpers pass. Fix an issue where it could target enemies in inaccessible areas. So I guess on guard again. So instead of that's Popovich. I guess Popovich will not take an enemy from a gun and just toss him out of it. Would be really nice. Improvements. All heroes. Screen shake when enemy is KO'd or a hero skill hits an enemy. Added. I guess so you can tell it better, but and of course you can turn off in settings, video, screen shake. Super Vegito. Skill 3 finger shot.
Krillin, I'll call you back.
The enemy can now see who they are locked. Who Vegeto's split finger shot is locked onto, which usually doesn't really matter because it's like the full team and they all get hit even if they're outside of the range of it. Anyway, so. Right, well, in a general sense, that's fine.
Krillin, I'll call you back.
Anyways, sure, that's pretty nice. I mean, I guess that's a pretty nice little quality of life update. Super Saiyan Vegeta, skill up details. Updated text to indicate the more times big game attack hits the same enemy, damage dealt to the enemy increases. Okay. That's also just quality of life improvements. Son Goku, Daima. Skill details. Fixed text to clearly show the application of energy defense up and movement speed up to self when using power pole dance to activate a Pansy Wasabi Bomb explosion. Pretty nice. Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Skill up details. Updated text to include the Dragon Shell as an enemy. I guess it wasn't before. Fixed an issue of the individual spectator's sound effects no longer playing while spectating. Alright, that's good. Gekishin rules changed so that if the God of Destruction base HP is lower than the damage received from the charged Gekishin burst, excluding max Gekishin burst, it triggers only once. The accumulated damage reaches the base HP. Okay. Add a feature that changes Zeno's movements once all God of Destruction on a team are defeated. The timer for when Zeno rises the God of Destruction area becomes infinite and no longer returns to the departure point. Now instantly moves from the God of Destruction area or Dragon Shell. Camera angle during battle adjusted. Improve visibility of the UI and notification. Camera angle during battle is interesting, and improved visibility of the UI and notifications is also good because you can already see that. Now even. Results. Details. Data category added. Update the overall flow and display. Hero list. Exclusive icons now display for upgradable heroes. Nice. Star collection. Updated the indicator so that it shows which heroes can be unlocked next. Shop. added rarity information to item details, if applicable, added an indicator to show if the daily bonus has not been claimed. That is correct. G capsules, update animations,
I'll
correct.
call you back.
You can already see that now. It's just that everything else will come out later. Badges, rename the player performance badges to player 2, player performance. Badge player 2, player performance. Thank you very much. Tutorial updated. Hey, very good patch notes. Gaksha Squadra for once. Actually, pretty good. How did Kefla not get nerfed? How did Kefla not get anything? How did Oob get buffed? But, you know what? That's alright. These patch notes are pretty good in general. We're still gonna probably see this character be the best in the game alongside with Kiev. I haven't paid in a multi-level 172 there, so you know what? But this guy seems to be getting a hefty buff. Everybody seems to be getting mostly buffs. The other characters are getting nerfed. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So in general, no, not favorite. So yeah, in general sense, really good patch notes here.
Krillin.
Hopefully
call
they're
you
actually
back.
good and not just us getting rage baited by some pretty words. But you know, we'll only be able to see tomorrow. So up until tomorrow, everybody have a good day and whatnot. Because up until tomorrow, we need to prepare for a new season of this game. That was a long reading session. Holy shit! I wasn't expecting to have patches on every single character, but alas, it is what it is, and that is exactly what we want here in these lands. Good patches for every character in the game, especially the characters that need nerfing. Why did Hit get buffed? We don't know, but Ultimate Gohan got nerfed. That's all that matters. Hit is probably the best technical in the game. We're gonna be suffering for quite a little bit longer from Hit overplay and probably some Bardock overplay as well, but at least we'll probably see some more variety in characters. So up until then, let's have fun and whatnot. I would stay off the game for today if I were you, but if you want to play, you can play. As you can see, I haven't even gotten S rank, whatever. I wasn't feeling it this rank. I just wanted to get no damage, and the other ones were just suffering. I didn't want to do it, but that's alright. I'll see you around tomorrow. Bye bye.